There we go. So thanks so much for coming to this call. We had an awesome February with Team Cup, and I just wanted to kind of talk about our story and what 148 points means. Because when we talk about 11th place in Team Cup and 148 Team Cup points, there's a lot of highs and lows that went into 148 points. And as amazing as 11th place feels, it's also the first one being left out of top 10, which is kind of it's a weird feeling. It's a feeling of incredible accomplishment and pride in what you did and a super record, and then a heartbreak of that you just missed corporate recognition. You just missed that thing that we would talk about every single day, like, hey, not only trying to win, but at least finishing in the top 10. And it doesn't mean that 11th place is so much worse, but it was, you set a goal to hit something big, something that, to dare to even dream of something like top 10 when you're a new coach, just to even have the guts to even go for something like that, and then just be as ridiculously close as we were, miss out how kind of those emotions, but then still having the pride and the teamwork and the accomplishment, and then what 148 points has meant out, because our challenge groups have kept going on. The lives that we've touched, we're continuing to impact those lives, and we're continuing to work together. And so I wanted to just take a little bit to talk about how this even came to be and how this team was formed, how we did 148 points, and the things that we've learned, the good things that really worked for us, and the things that our plan A's that fell through, how that kind of stuff happened, how we didn't give up, and how 148 points ended up. So I'm Andy. If you guys don't know me, I'm Andy. I'm one of the co-founders of New Wave Power Talks. I'm a big dreamer. I've been a coach less than a year. And I got all of this started at last Super Saturday. So if you aren't going to a Super Saturday, you should totally go to a Super Saturday, because I had no idea that I was going to try to build a team that was going to go for Team Cup. But I went to a Super Saturday event, and one of the ladies there, actually one of Camille, if Camille want to wave, she was didn't even know Camille at this point. I knew of her in the group, but not as like a teammate. Her upline star diamond, Alexis, gave this really great speech at our event, and then one of the master trainers was there, and she just had like us put our goals, and like the whole thing was dreaming big. And that's totally me. If you guys have followed me, my thing is grow your dreams, and that's part of my brand. And I can't just say that. I can't just tell people to grow their dreams, but then not be growing a big dream myself. If I'm not dreaming big, if I'm not pushing the limits on the things that I can accomplish, then it doesn't work for me to tell you guys to do that. So I'm very passionate about not only, talking the talk, but walking the walk. And here I am, it's like I kind of had a rough December. I'm sure all of you guys try to push your business in December, and everybody just wants to wait till January. And so I'm like, new year, new chance to get goals and stuff. And I go to this Team Cup or this Super Saturday event. I'm like, okay, this is the time. They put on this Hall of Fame song. If you guys know the Hall of Fame song by will.i.am, and they're like, write your big goals, and everybody brought a white T-shirt. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna win the Team Cup. I'm gonna win it. I don't even care. I'm gonna win it. And I was just caught up in the moment. Last Team Cup, I'd got 78 points, and I thought it would be this amazing things to get to tier 3. What if we could get to tier 3? That would just be amazing. I barely got to 78 points. So I was like, you know what? Whatever the bar you set, like, what if I went for it? Like, you just kind of rise to the occasion. I'm like, I'm going to win. Like, I have this amazing New Wave community now. Like, I didn't even know it was going to get that big, but there's this amazing community of people willing to share this pool of talent. What I wanted to do was create a force within New Wave that if we came together and we proved that cross-line teams of community over competition, if that would actually, like, it sounds good when we say that, y'all. Like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, this new wave mission. Let's all make each other better. The first power talk we did, we had 400 of you guys came out live. So props if you came live. But it sounds good. But if we what if we could give that like visible proof that that works? A coach like me, with a big dream, would take some of the rising stars within this community, people who have adopted this mission, and what if the new wave mission could bring back, and it would, like, when they announce those leaderboards, those top tens, what if new wave power talks was right up there at the top? Would that work? I would love that. And so I was like, I've seen, because you guys came in the new wave, if you guys were there in the very beginning, people were starting to share just unbelievable, amazing stuff. I was like, this is a crazy tool. Let's go for it. I feel like I have a shot at winning because Team Cup's great. There's no advantages. Everybody has to play by the same rule. Every star diamond has to have a team of 4 rubies and emeralds and below. There's no way that they can get points that I can't get points. The rank advance, all that stuff, we all play by the same rules. We all start at 0. We all go for it. And so I was my first mission into how am I going to do this? One, I was like, I'm going to do Facebook ads and create these all funnels. Like, I've got kind of mine set up. I'm like, this is going to work out great. And I have this secret weapon. I have New Wave. With 5 people, we can set up this awesome thing and create this big launch event. And there's no way that this plan's not going to work. Okay, so I think the first big takeaway when you're going to go set a big goal is believe that you can do it. And I just was like, I'm caught in the moment, but I believed I could win the Team Cup. And I believe that through these funnels and through New Wave that I could help everybody get to Success Club 60. Like, we did not get to Success Club 60, y'all. But I believe that there was a shot that we all could get to 60, and 60 would probably be what it would take to win it. And I knew that based off last Team Cup, that there was about 4 or 5 teams that hit the cap, where everybody hit the cap. So it was like, at a bare minimum, we all get to 35. I'm not sure what the top teams do, but I bet if we all hit 60, we would win. And so at the bare minimum, let's get to 35. And so I took that idea with the New Wave. You guys, the people in New Wave, I was just, I was a diamond coach, but because of the platform and the mission of New Wave, people looked at me as a thought leader or somebody who is, special or going places. So I had a little bit of credibility when hey, somebody I don't know or somebody who watched me on these power talks, would you join my team? That pulled a lot of leverage. And I could reach out to the people who I saw and respected and say, would you like to be part of my team? And it was cool because I saw a lot of myself within the girls that said yes. It wasn't that long ago where I was an emerald hungry to be a diamond. And all of these people, Jackie, she reached out, and she actually, after the first power talk, had me be on one of her team calls and talk. And I saw her incredible team environment of what a leader she is and how hungry she was for diamond. And then not only that, but how much her team respected her and how hungry they were as a team to move forward. And so that this platform going forward for Team Cup would not only be an opportunity for Jackie to move her business forward, but also her entire team to get behind a mission of moving forward. Because every personally sponsored coach of hers that hit Emerald for the first time, that'd be 3 points. And so it was a way to leverage her entire downline, hey, let's go do this. And I thought that was really cool too. When I reached out to Camille was really cool. She was somebody who, I asked to have everybody to hashtag carve my wave. And she was, emerald hungry for diamond. I got this big dream, big goal. Like, she's got these super high dreams just like me. And she had a tough time saying yes. I'll let Camille maybe tell that story, but she was, gung ho on running her own team, and that's a sign of a good leader. It's like, hey, here's this guy, who's selling a story of, hey, I would love to, win this team cup, and she's still conflicted because she has this duty to her own downline. Hey, I want to lead you. I want to be the leader. I want to help your business too, and use Team Cup as that. And then it was her kind of decision to, hey, let's unite teams, cross line teams instead of just 5 coaches and 1 downline working together. It's like, what if we can create 5 cross line teams to do it? She said yes. I'm super thankful, and I totally believe that this team was kind of a God thing for him, because each of our strengths within this team gave strength to the whole team. Katie, same thing. Actually, in the early days of New Wave, Katie was someone I was the most impressed with what she was sharing. I asked people to say, hey, come in. Not only am I going to share my best stuff within New Wave, I want everybody who wants to be part of this community to share your best stuff. And Katie, she's like talking about all her apps that she uses and filming videos, and that PicMonkey tutorial like came back even with the Catitude videos, if you guys, the Catitude pictures. But it's like Katie was just like, yeah, I'm in, I'm sharing, I'm teaching. And throughout this whole thing, Katie's ability to teach and share, that has been a huge strength for all of us. And then Christy, I thought Christy was more of a wild card out of the all the team. Christy was the one I was like, I kind of stalked her and find out, and I didn't really know what to get about Christy, but I knew that she had natural talent. And when I went and I looked at her and the stuff that she was putting out, I didn't see maybe like a lot of, hey, I got to follow these script. I saw a raw passion and a raw talent to get results. And I took a leap. I probably, out of all of the 5 of them, I think I took a leap of faith on Christy the most, asking her to be a part of this team, and just had this kind of gut feeling that she's going to be an asset. And it was a little scary as a team leader, because I don't really know these people very well at this point. I'm just trying to find passion. I'm trying to find leaders. I'm trying to find people who are on the brink of diamond, because strategically, you going from emerald to diamond is a 6-point swing. And if one of that is like one of your personally sponsored going to emerald, that's 9 points out of there. And so getting to Success Club 60, I'm not sure how much or what resources we all had to get, to 60, but if somebody could pull 9 points just by hitting diamond, then that's going to get us that much closer there. So if you guys have, in my branding course, I tell people to read the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and one of my favorite parts of that whole book is he talks about the endurance crew and Shackleton. If you guys, anybody on this call know about that? No? You guys looking at me? Some of you do. Raise hand. Corey knows. Thumbs up there. Well, this was like right about World War I. There was an Arctic explorer. He wanted to be the first person to lead a team to traverse the Antarctic continent. So like land and take a team across and then make it there. And the way he advertised his team was, he was like, he didn't just say, hey, come build, come for this thing, we'll pay you. If you make it, you'll be a celebrity. It was like, no, like, this probably is going to fail. You probably will die if you do this. Like, on the slim chance that we do make it back, like, there will be recognition. But the only people he attracted to this mission were people who were real risk takers, they wanted a mission like, a slim chance thing. And when they did get stuck, they got stuck in the pack ice. They'd ever made it to Antarctic, and they survived for over 16 months before they made it back. Nobody died. Nobody turned each other. They developed this amazing team, and it had this great focus on a mission. And so going through this, trying to build a team, I was like, I need to find the right people that, one, want to win, would, even have the guts to go for a win, a Team Cup win. Oh, this is my daughter. I'm going to show you guys timeout. So this girl right here, she was a cool leader too. My wife got bucked off a horse, and she was super brave. Went and found my wife's phone and called me. Um, Saved the day a little bit, and she was super scared. But like when you guys are here, doing it for your family and stuff like that, this is one of big reason of my why I'm doing this business and why I'm adding, trying to grow my dreams. It's for kids and stuff like that too. So I think that's a cool reason to, have your why of why you want to go for it, why you want to build a dream and stuff like this. So I'm going to finish this meeting, baby girl. So I'll be out in like an hour. Okay. Bye. Okay. Love you. And so back to Shackleton. Okay. So he found the team that were willing to suitable for the mission that he wanted to go on. Okay. So when I was doing interviews and asking people for this Team Cup team, hey, would you want to go for this? I wanted to find people that were hungry. And all, Jackie and Camille and Christy and Katie, they were hungry. They wanted they wanted a breakthrough for their business. And the work that they had done to share in New Wave, kind of led to that big breakthrough where I would notice them and then ask them to be on this team where we would unite and use the hunger within all of us to, kind of leverage each other to try to go for 148 points or try to win the whole thing. Okay, so let me close this door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. And so that was the cool thing. And then we had a pretty significant time in January because we were like, let's start building now. Let's set up for February in January. And January tested our team pretty hardcore in January. Just, are we getting ready for this? All the, Katie, Christy, Camille, and Jackie, they were all in my first ever branding course. And part of that, if you guys have been through that, you guys sign up for a website and you guys get this really professionally looking tool to share from. And I wanted them to have that because this was something new that they would be able to share from. So when they go to the prospects that maybe they have told them no, it's like it would add legitimacy to each of their businesses that when, hey, I'm going to come invite you this time. Like, whoa, what is Katie doing? What is Jackie doing? Because all of a sudden her stuff looks super professional now. This thing must be really special. So, but that is a lot of work to get set up. And there were days, I think multiple people were like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I'm the right person for the job. Like, I know it sounded good when we were all talking about we're winning, but now that I'm here, this stuff stresses me out. Like, I kind of want to quit, And then as a team leader, I was like, hey, I wanted to remind everybody why they wanted to do this, why they needed it for themselves, and why all of us in it together, why we need to stick with each other. And what it was cool is we instantly formed a bond where when somebody was having a bad day, they had 4 people that were in there to pick each other up because we knew that, together we're stronger, that we did need it, and that when we were struggling with something, everybody else was instantly there, to try to make them better. And so what that did too, it's kind of set that, hey, even when it's tough, we're going to keep fighting. Okay. And we did that in January. And that was a really important part of the team, because February, we went through some ups and downs, but going through January, knowing that we were willing to stick with each other before any of us had put a point on the board, we were definitely going to stick with each other through February. And that was a testament to the girls and honestly, just their drive and how bad they did want it. Because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's one thing to actually put in the work to do it, and especially before you even get results. Like, these girls were working, they were growing, they were setting stuff up well before, they even put a challenge pack out. They, talked to people, we didn't know how the team was going to be. Okay. So in order to do it, we needed to create a hype event. Okay, so a lot of you saw how we were advertising the 5-on-1 challenge group. And I think that's a cool thing, is because this month wasn't just going to be a normal month. We had to push it. We had to have something to invite to, that people were going to be like, wow, this is the time I have to say yes. So if I've ever was thinking about it, this was the time. And it would, we came up with this concept that not only will you get one coach to help you, you're going to get 5 coaches. And we tried to feature like the 21-day fix because it was on sale that month. And that, we tried to talk directly at the tired, overwhelmed mom. And that was going to be our target market. We were going to run our funnels to that. We built an avatar. We called her Tiffany, the tired, overwhelmed mom, and we were talking directly at her. And the cool thing about this idea of the funnel and how this was I'm going to talk about how this funnel did not work at all yet, because this was not our best idea. But what it did do is it gave us, we all believed that this was going to just kill. There's no way this plan would not fail. It's going to work. We built a landing page. I had these girls, I'm like, hey, I need a video for this because we're going to put all together. I put like sappy cheeseball music kind of behind it, and we're like developing these amazing commercials that are going to go in it. It's like these lead magnets are going to pull into these. Tiffany's our tired, overwhelmed mom's going to watch these videos. There's no way she's not going to click on these web pages, and there's no way she's not going to sign up. It's going to work. And what was cool through that is, as a team, we had a project to work on. So it wasn't just, hey, everybody just all be accountable for their own business and be accountable for your own 60 points. It's like, no, we were working on one project together. We were working on this landing page that we were all going to leverage in this challenge group that was going to be the coolest, best challenge group we've ever made. And we were doing this together. I would send out, Katie, I need you to say this for our video, and Jackie. And Katie's like, do you realize how many takes it took me to put 4 seconds of video? And she would like put her phone out, and it's like, I don't know how I can say this all over, but I'm like, and send it to me in an email, or whatever. I'm like, get this, we need it by Friday, and I'm sure the girls all wanted to kill me multiple times through this, but
we called him a slave driver the entire time.
Yeah. But as much as they hated me, by having this up, we had this cool thing we were all super proud of. We had this video. They're like, wow, this is cool. We had this landing page, and if you guys saw a little hype video that I made, I was like, we're gonna win. People are gonna know our name. So it's this big excitement, and instantly we felt like a team. So I think that's a cool takeaway for all of you. If you guys are building your own team, just within your downline, is create something to be a part of, and not just an accountability system of, hey, you need to hit these benchmarks. Okay? Because I could have said, hey, if we're going to win there, you guys all need to hit Success Club 60. And at bare minimum, you better get to 35. Go. Right? Here's the scripts I want you to use. Here's the accountability post. You need to post that. All right? This is how you're going to do it. And they would have been like, I don't know. That's the kind of slave driver. It's like, I don't necessarily why, it doesn't work. But this is like, we developed a challenge group that we're all going to invite to. We created videos that we were all part of. This landing page there. So we all took ownership of this thing that we were building. And it wasn't just me telling people to build it. Like, we would all like, oh, Christy, she is phenomenal on video, and we're like, we have to lead with Christy, because when Christy talks, like, she instantly pulls you in, and makes you want to watch more from Christy. So it's like, we all had these different strengths that we were using, and like I would put an idea out, and the ideas would come back just so amazing. It's like, it wasn't just my thing, it was the team of us, the 5 thing. And so I had this kind of overall plan of the idea of what this would look like, but the way that the girls helped dial it in and took ownership of that. If we needed a graphic, we would just say, hey, Katie, like, do this, and she would knock off these amazing, like, I don't know, super professional, like, graphic artist style. And it's cool to have those resources. And it wasn't just me dictating. It was, we had this incredible moment too, y'all, where it's like, we're trying to come up with our brands and need graphics. And Katie just says, hey, what do you need? What are you thinking? And then would just come up with graphics and help people, like, build their websites. And that was a cool moment too. I know Christy was struggling there. This was when our team was like, this is just too hard. But like Katie like picked the team up during that moment with pictures and just like, no, you guys got this. You have this. And it wasn't just me as the team leader picking the team up. It was everybody picking everybody up. So coming into that, we have this big launch event, this 5-on-1 challenge group. We have it. We're going to advertise it. And because it's February, we're going to do 2 of them, right? So we're going to have 2 sales cycles, one at the 14th, one at the 29th, but they'll give us 2 opportunities to, to get our points in, right? So we're going to accelerate all of our timetables. We're not just going to do 1 sales cycle a month to fill 1 challenge group. So all of us are willing to give more for the team, more for this mission than we ever have before, right? So I kind of do my normal thing in a month, but for this moment, I'm willing to, go as hard as I can, build things, and all the girls were as well. And that was a cool moment too, is because we saw everybody else working as hard as they could. And so when we wanted to have a bad day, it's just like your challenge groups, y'all. You see people, they're going to show up every single day. We did that with our business, and it was kind of like, hey, if I need you to do it, everybody would get stuff like the stuff gets done. And so we had this big idea, this landing page, and it wasn't quite ready to launch. And February hit, and we're like, okay, let's go. Let's start to get this funnels up. And we talked about, let's see, what was it? January's New Wave talk was about Success Club points. And here I am. For me personally, I'm motivated by growing my dreams, setting big, scary goals, and calling my shot and almost scaring myself to the point where I have to follow through. And so on that talk, we had 500 people, and in front of 500 people, of people who looked up at me as a leader, I said, hey, I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna win this team cup. I got this great team. I can't wait. Called my shot, right? I pointed there. I'm like, let's do this. And that was not to brag. That was not to boast. That was for me to show my team that I believe in them so much that I'm willing to put us out there in front of an audience, and then also raise the accountability to a point where if we came in like 800th place, like, there's going to be at least a couple haters that be like, oh, remember when that Andy guy like said he was going to win? Like, so that now I have to come through, right? We have to do that. So one, it was cool for the team to see their team leader believe in them so much that he was willing to call his shot on a team call like that, on a webinar like that. Hey guys, I believe in you. Let's do this. Those girls, they have my back like crazy. Every time I say, hey, like Eureka, her and I have this awesome relationship, this great rivalry, but she was like, I'm going to build my team too. And Christy's like, Eureka's going down, and had this, but it was like, she's totally on the team, and all of this is really, it's not like competitive at all. It's, we all love to help each other, and that's totally true. But it was the team just having this great identity within itself. Okay, we have these funnels. They're definitely going to work. We started to launch them, and we didn't get any leads. But the thing is, we're like, it's okay, you guys. They're going to work. Our leads are going to come in. Don't worry. Just let's organically push as hard as we can. We need to stay within striking distance. And then our leads will be like our secret weapon. They'll come through after we get them up and running, after we start retargeting them. It's going to work. Don't worry. I got this for you guys. And Rico, she talks about priming your month. We totally primed. We had people set up ready to go. February. I got my 4 points, day one, and I had also a couple of things fell apart, and I was like, oh no, because as the leader, I needed to show like, hey, we're going. We got our foot down. I need to set the expectation that we all are working. It's going to do that. And I came through with 4 points right off the bat, and then I wanted to get to Success Club 10 at least by day 2, and I was only at Success Club 4 at the end of day 5. But what was cool is Christy who was my wild card. I wasn't quite sure what she was going to there. She was a rock star. She came through, and I think she was at 12 points or something within like day 3, and just organic raw hustle got us to 37th place. I think we were on that first update. We came in with 25 points, and it was a short week. It wasn't even a full week. It was like literally like 3 days into the first leaderboard update, and we were at Success Club 25 as a team. I think Christy was responsible for half of those, honestly. I know I was only responsible for 4. And even like Jackie, she had a lot of people like ready to rank advance, and then I'll do it like the first week, and it didn't quite happen the first week, and so we're like, oh, shoot, like this could almost, after all of this could fall apart like on day 3, and we didn't expect to be leading, because I know a lot of the Star Diamonds, they prime and they can just put a blast out to their email list and get a lot of points, and there was a team who got 75 points by day 3. It's like, holy cow. And we had 25 points, so it was significantly behind first place, but we were within striking distance of first. We were on the second page. We were not that far away from the top 10, and so we still believed that we could win. And that's the thing too. You guys have to believe that you can still do it. And even though we were behind, we're still in this. We still have this secret weapon coming in. It's okay, because her people didn't rank advance. She didn't get to diamond this time. We have that coming like next, so we're still in 37th place, and we have all these dominoes still to fall. Okay. The thing is, you guys, the lead magnet, all the time we spent with our trying to reach Tiffany, none of that worked. And none of that, no matter how we changed the ad, no matter how we tried to talk about how amazing this challenge group was, it just did not reach cold people off the internet. And it didn't matter how much money we threw at it, it didn't work. I'm sure some people have figured out how to reach cold ads, and we've learned a lot about what doesn't work from that. But we do know that just asking somebody for a cold person for $140, even no matter how amazing the challenge group is, if they have no idea who you are, I mean, it doesn't matter if we can talk about how amazing the 5 of us are and how the different strengths and all this extra value added help. It's just, we didn't figure out how to make a funnel that went from, cold lead into challenge pack purchaser into challenge group participator. So we could have gave up. It's just like, oh, this thing, our secret weapon, didn't work, y'all. So that was a good run. Let's just do the best we can. Let's, try to hit tier 3. But you know what? The thing is, what did work was I think people could really see the enthusiasm of the team and the branding course, the websites, the way people were inviting, and the challenge group. So the people who did have a relationship with us, those people all of a sudden, maybe the warm market or someone who's been watching like Jackie's stuff on social media, all of a sudden now she's got this 5-on-1 challenge group. Her conversations are having more weight. She's getting more conversions. And so we didn't give up, but we just kept hustling, because we were in 37th place with us, with hustle, with go for it. People were starting to say yes. People were getting into it, and we were hanging. Came to the second thing, we moved up to 25th place, and then we killed it that third week. I have no idea how we just crushed it. I'm like, we're gonna make top 10, and we're like, you can't. We would get in on Wednesday, and we're like, I can't wait till Friday. We're just gonna crush it. And I think that's when our first challenge group actually ended. So then it was like we kind of had a big kind of rush to fill that first one up, and then like, okay, we're gonna be close to the top 10. It comes out on Friday, 21st, and we're like, what? And there was like teams that like came, we're like, where did that team come in? I'm like, okay, but rather than caving in or giving up, we're like, okay, y'all, we still got this. We still can do it, because we knew that, even like top 5, like if we could all cap we would get like around top 5. And so it didn't matter that we were still back of that. It's like we just all were focused on, getting to 35. And without the funnel, without this grandeur idea that challenge success club points were just going to fall out of the internet into our business centers, we kind of lowered our expectations from 60 to like, let's just all get to 35. And so Christy was almost at 35 at this point. I think she was like freaking, I don't even remember. I know like 30 or 31, like by the third week, just crushing it. And then Jackie and Camille had this awesome moment where that was kind of our secret weapon that we knew would work, was their rank advancements. Jackie had, and Camille both, I think, or no, Jackie had a coach go to Emerald on one leg, and then was really working with her team, and her whole team was excited to get to go to help this mission. They totally felt a part of this Team Cup team. And every time we were like, are we gonna, this is Wednesday night, are people gonna rank advance? They're working on it. Didn't quite do it. And then we got to our last Wednesday. This was, if people were gonna rank advance, like this was the moment it was going to happen. And Camille too, what Camille did to get from, I don't know, Camille, if you want to unmute yourself, but what did you do? What was the start of the month to get to Diamond? Like, what did that take? How many coaches did that take?
I think I needed 2 Emeralds and 2 coaches, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a really long time ago.
She did. She was like literally, she was like about halfway to Emerald when she started the month, or halfway to Diamond, and she had no of her personally sponsors like were at Emerald. So it's what she did to get there was literally a month-long effort. And even though she didn't hit Diamond till literally like the last hour of the last day, it was like, man, we're gonna need those 9 points. We're gonna need those 9 points. And it was like 7 p.m. that Wednesday, and she's like, my coach is gonna do it. She's like working. She has the coaches in place. It's just, will her coach go Emerald? Okay, first one's in. And it's like the second one got in like at 10 p.m. or something. I don't know, but it's like this was gonna be kind of a make it or break it moment for our Team Cup team, because I know Jackie was going Diamond and Camille was going Diamond. There was no opportunities to go Diamond. And if they pull it off, that's going to be 15 points worth of rank advancing literally in a night. Like our Team Cup team is going to get 15 points in a night if they can pull it off. And if they don't, I mean, Camille would have to sell like 5 more challenge packs to make up that difference, and Jackie would have had to sell 3 more. So if one coach goes Emerald, she goes from Ruby to Diamond, 6 points. It's just so much easier with the rank advancing to get these points. And they pulled it off. I mean, it was unbelievable what they did, and I think both of them that day went through multiple ways. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. What's cool though is how much their teams believed in them and wanted it for them and for themselves enough to rally. Jackie had a coach that drove like to get money out of an ATM or something like at 11 o'clock at night and did that for her to go. So shout out to Randy if you're watching this on a recording or whatever. But it was cool to see that they're leaders of their own teams and how much their teams were willing to fight for them. And it was just a testament to kind of like the new wave mission. Like this is going to work because it's just not one team. Like we have the power of 5 teams fighting for each other. And so whereas Christy was just such a rock star in the beginning too and kept us in it, like now it's Jackie and Camille's turn. And there was literally, I mean, there's nothing I can do to help their coaches hit Emerald. I kind of went in and leveraged some advice, but it was their leadership that was going to think. So if this team was going to get those 15 points, this was Camille and Jackie's show, and they both pulled it off. And it was just an incredible moment that night, and be able to celebrate them going Diamonds. And it was really cool to see. And then after that, we were 11th place. We were right out on the door with 5 days to go, y'all. and we had a shot at it. Christy was the only one who had capped. I think you were not even capped. You were at 34, so she had like one more point to get. I was spending a lot of my time setting the coaches up for success, empowering them different ways to stuff, but I still needed to take care of my own business center, and I was only at Success Club 16. I don't know. I had a lot of work to do, but I had a lot of people primed for the second round of this challenge group, and so I was like, okay, it's time for me to go. Made my big push. I sold 6 challenge packs in a day, which I've never done before. I went Success Club 12 in a day. This was on a Saturday, and we had like Saturday, Sunday, Monday was the last 3 days of the month. And our second challenge group started that Monday. I capped the day before. She capped the last, you got like 8 points, literally the last day to cap. Camille pulled like 6 points the last day to get to 31, didn't quite cap. And Katie only hit 12, but she pulled last points right at the last day. So we all pulled points right at the end to get there. So we scored 30 points in 5 days, which was crazy. And Katie, I don't want to say that she only got 12 points because that's not even fair to what Katie did. What Katie did out of the 5 of us too is the most incredible teacher for the challenge group, because it's not just about points, y'all. It's like we had the most incredible challenge groups because of this, right? And we had 5 teams worth of there, and then the leverage of what 5 teams, 5 coaches, like our strengths within a challenge group. But out of all of us, what Katie shares within the groups to actually, for our 148 points, those people that ended up in our challenge groups, I think most of my clients, like out of like the stuff that Katie shares is just such like gold mine after gold mine, the way that she motivates. And I think I saw that, with her like Pick Monkey tutorial, like Katie is just a natural teacher. And it's such a great coach that even like today with our group's still there, it's like out of the 5 of us, like the best stuff that's shared in the group comes from Katie. So I don't want to say that Katie got 12 points and that was like a bad, like Katie's 12 points, and there's a lot more to go in to this big group, this mission of, helping as many people with this 5-on-1. I don't feel like there's any weak links at all. I'm super proud of what Katie did too. But as far as points goes, like Katie came in with points the last day. So we came in 30 points. So we didn't quite all cap. Christy, props to Christy. Jackie and I, we capped. Camille hit 31 and Katie hit 12. And the cool thing about that is literally it was a personal record for every single one of us. Christy's, her best was 17, and then she got 36. So more than doubled. Jackie's best was 18. I think she got 26. Is that right, Jackie? What was your current record? And then you beat it by quite a bit. I know Camille's was 14, and she hit 26. And then, anyways, it is just an incredible, and it was because we wanted it. We had an amazing thing to invite to. We believed in ourselves, and then when Plan A didn't work, we had the fortitude and the stick with it and this to keep hustling, to keep inviting the hard way, just talking to people, inviting them, hey, do you know anybody? So that's the thing, y'all. There's no secret to 148 points. We didn't have a magical funnel. What we did have is teamwork and belief in each other and willpower. And so I think building that dynamic, there's something to be said in that, and then what we build in that. But as far as the secret easy button, that thing didn't exist. So I want to open it up to the girls and tell kind of the things that they learned about, the things they learned, the things that maybe what they would have done different, their drops of wisdom to everybody. And then we're going to open it up from some Q&A, and then we'll wrap this call up. So I want to start with Jackie, because Jackie's been working working for this for a long time. She's been a coach for 4 years, and getting to Diamond was a long time going. That was a lot of hard work coming, and it was cool to see her pull it off during Team Cup. And then not only that, but what she's done since Team Cup, the momentum her team's been on since that. Excited to let you hear from Jackie. So.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie. I wanted to thank everybody who, first of all, got on this call tonight, and everybody who's watching the recording that couldn't make it. Listening to Andy talk still just gets me fired up and excited. I was lucky enough to be on that first New Wave Power Talk. And something that night just totally clicked for me. And also for my coaches, my personally sponsored coach, Randy, messaged me right after the call and was like, you need to get that dude on our team call like tomorrow because he's awesome. And I'm like, well, what the heck? It can't hurt to ask, right? So I send Andy a message and I'm like, hey, want to talk on my team call? He's like, sweet. No one's ever asked me to do that before. So I was like, yeah, we win. And, he asked me like what I wanted to talk about. And I shared with him that I have been a coach for almost 4 years and I have not hit this goal of Diamond, and I don't feel like a good leader. I don't feel like I can direct my team in the direction that they should be going to be successful to hit their own goals if I cannot even hit what I think would be the simplest goal for me to hit over these 4 years. And after our team call, he connected with me and he told me how awesome it was to see how much my team believed in me as their leader. And it was kind of a surreal moment because, again, I don't feel like a leader to my team. Well, I feel a little more like a leader now. I'm learning. So, prior to this happening, I had a meltdown in like October. I watched a girl who had just started in this business for 3 months become Diamond, and it was plastered through all my newsfeed. And, I called my upline, I called my fiance, I said, I'm over this. I'm sorry for wasting all your time and money. Like, I just quit. I'm done. And they both kind of came back at me like, you're crazy. You have helped so many people and you're good at what you do. You need to just refocus. And that's when I got involved with a training that my upline was running. And, it held me accountable, just like doing a program. It was kind of like a challenge group, but for a training. And I was very successful. I showed up every single day for that training, and it obviously taught me the skills I was going to need and didn't realize how much I was going to utilize them come January, February. So brings me up to date, and Andy calls me and says, I have an idea. Can we talk? And I said, sure, I'll be home at 5. So he gets on a Zoom call with me, and, my fiance's in the background listening, and he tells me that he's got this crazy idea and he wants to win Team Cup. And I'm like, oh, this guy's nuts. Who's going to win Team Cup? And then he asks me to be on his team. And now I'm thinking, okay, he's really crazy because I have nothing to offer for this team. But Andy is a very inspiring person, and he told me a great story that had me feeling after I got off the phone with him that I could win the Team Cup with him, and whatever team we were going to have working together was going to be possible. So after speaking with Jimmy and kind of tooting my own horn, I said, all right, I can do this. And how great will it be if this happens? So I told Andy, all right, I'm in, let's do this. And I kind of went into this with the mentality that I want to do this for these 4 other strangers, because I'm sure they want the same things. They want the success in their business, which is why we're all going to be brought together. And we entered this mission as strangers. And now I have 4 new best friends. I talk to these people every single day, just about still. If you could read our message log, it would probably fill a stack of paper printed this big. I am beyond thankful for this opportunity. I learned how to stay consistent in my business. And I also learned that I worked a lot harder than I ever have before. And it's not, I wouldn't say I would want to run my business like that every single month. I did take a lot of time away from my family, but I did warn them before it started that this was going to happen, and they were all okay with that. But I worked from the minute I woke up until the minute I couldn't hold my eyes open anymore, because I really wanted this to happen. You know, I believed in Andy, I believed in all of us, and I wanted to support this dream. So I gave it my all, and knew that whatever the outcome was, we would all feel proud, because yes, we all had our moments. I don't know if Andy ever really admitted to us that he was kind of ready to crack, but I know the rest of us ladies, maybe it's a ladies thing, had our moments of kind of breakdown. I shut down completely for like 3 days. And, you know, of course, when the third results came out and we were in 11th place and I had shut down for those 3 days, I was kicking myself in the butt saying, oh, if I just worked one of those 3 days, maybe we'd have those extra points. We would have got it. But, you know, I learned that it was a team effort, and I was lucky enough to be working with these 4 amazing people. And, it taught me a lot about not giving up. You know, there are so many bad things that are going to happen, and they're going to happen no matter what. So don't let those bad things take you away from your dreams and your passion, because they're going to happen anyways. So don't let it derail you from what you love. That's going to be my takeaway.
That's great. Super great. And that's the thing too, I think a great lesson too is, I don't know, you guys like look up at me like I'm this super amazing coach or whatever, like, but at New Wave, like we're like new, and there was a time where I was, a nobody coach, like an unknown coach. And it's like, so the lesson, like reach up to somebody who you respect, regardless of how special or not special they seem to be, and like ask what they're doing, ask for help, ask to connect with them. And Jackie didn't have to ask for me to be on that team call that first time, but she did, you know. And then we connected, and it didn't matter that we didn't know. So if you guys are in New Wave and there's a coach that is just posting stuff that is just really resonating with you, like, you know, really just amazing stuff, like reach out to them and just, hey, would you want to be on a team call? I love what you're posting in New Wave. Let's connect. Maybe you can find your own success partners that way. So I want to go to Katie next. Katie is by far the best teacher of the group, so I can't wait to hear what she has, like her takeaways from this mission, and then what she thought. So.
Okay. So as far as getting into this group, it was amazing. Trust me. I mean, amazing. I hadn't done very good for months as a business. I was just like Jackie, on the verge of having a mental breakdown, just, you know, beating my head against the wall, wondering what direction I'm going to go in from day to day or week to week, and just not sure what my goals were. But to have a group like this, and not just being your upline or being other people in your group, it really does show that we're all human. We're all striving for the same thing. And the biggest thing you can do is not to give up, to take one day at a time. What you may not have gotten done today, it will be there tomorrow. It can be done tomorrow. And you can't do everything all at once. And I kept trying to do that. And I think that was my biggest hurdle, was trying to do it all and to take it all in and and to do it all every single day, but you can't. Reality is, you know, we do have our own jobs. We do have our own kids or our own animals that we take care of, or whatever the case may be, but we can't always do everything. And that is the biggest takeaway for me, was just realizing you're not going to be able to do everything on a daily basis. Because if you're trying so much all the time, people are going to see that you're trying too hard. If you're constantly, I guess to me, it's when you're constantly jabbing but not really doing the right hook, as Andy would say, people are going to notice. And when I stopped jabbing, I guess you would say, that's when people started coming around to me, and, you know, wanting to be in my group or wanting to buy something off of me, or not really buy something off of me, but you know what I mean. They were more interested in what I had, because I quit giving all the jabs. And I'm horrible at the right hooks because I hate being a salesperson, but I love sharing what I do. I've been doing this, you know, even 2 years prior to even being a coach. So, but I want to be successful in it. And it took more than just me. It took more of a training on a level of not a millionaire person, because that's not who we are. We're not at that level. We need an entry level type of atmosphere that's gonna get us going and keep us cushioned, where we know that we can do it in a positive manner and not feel like it's a negative against everything that we've ever learned. So I would say my takeaway in this is, don't give up on the littlest things. Always do those 3 vital behaviors on a daily basis, and definitely use that right hook.
That's awesome. And what Katie too, she has another coach in her local market that likes to give away, hey, buy a challenge pack, I'll give you this $20 gift certificate or whatever. And, you know, it seemed like they would siphon all of these people away. People would be attracted to that. And it's like, Katie's like, I'm just not going to do that. But like, if you take a challenge group from Katie, it's like your life is just going to get so much better. And these people that, you know, would opt in for that other coach, and then I'm not sure what that other coach offers, but I just can't imagine that would be the same as what Katie offers. And then just believing that what you do offer is amazing, and that, you know, the value that you provide in your groups is worth what people pay for it. If people aren't getting like this incredible bargain. But it was cool to watch Katie just like, I don't want to sell anything, you know, if people ask, but it's like, Katie, like, your info is so incredible. You should, you know, if you push just a little bit, like, people are going to see. And it's cool. And not only that, but Katie's people in the group are just phenomenal, the way they're crushing it in the challenge group too. So I'm going to go to Camille next. Camille's great. And as far as the highs and lows of the group, I could always count on Camille for staying positive. That's her thing, is the positivity platform. And I know Camille dealt with a tremendous amount of stress behind the scenes that she didn't really let us in on, or she didn't let us on how much it was affecting her. She has this really cool way of remaining positive even when stuff's not going her way. And that we needed that quality in the group multiple times, where stuff was falling apart, but Camille was always steady, always just getting results. Her points came literally just like kind of all through the thing. And then when we needed Camille to get those 9 points on the last day, she came through that. Love that. I can't wait to hear from her.
Hi guys. So my phone's frozen, so I don't really know what I look like. But like Andy said, I come from a very successful team in the company. My star upline is Alexis Whalen, and she's the founder of the Barbells, and I don't know where we're ranked right now, but she has a very successful team and is very close with a good chunk of us coaches. I was brought onto the team when there was less than 80 of us, so I have a very positive relationship with her, and she knows me very well. Like, we just went on the cruise together. So I have always had guidance and trainings and just people there supporting me from the business side. So I got started out that way. But my direct upline kind of took things at a little bit slower pace, because she was a discount coach first and ran the business like right when I joined with her. So we started at the same time. It took her a while to go to Diamond, and she sat at Diamond for a while. So I didn't really see the need. I wanted to move up in my business, but I didn't see the urgency to do it until I realized this is what I wanted to do full time, and this is how I wanted to support my soon-to-be family, and this is how I just wanted to run my life because I was in control of my schedule. I deal with anxiety, especially when I can't control situations. So working a normal job, once I get bored or don't want to do that job anymore, it becomes very, very stressful for me, and I don't want to do anything. And that has never been the case with Beachbody. I could work this from sun up to sundown and would love it every single day. So that's one reason I wanted to be successful in Team Cup, is to prove to myself that this can work full time and I can have set business hours and I can reach those big scary goals that I set January 1st for my business. So being part of this team, Andy and the girls are super duper good at just pushing each other and sharing what our daily goals are, sharing what our weekly goals or what we wanted at the end of the month, and then keeping ourselves and each other accountable for that. Like Jackie had said, our messages would probably be more than 100 pieces of paper because we were talking all the time. We are in different time zones, so that was another hurdle I think all of us had to get used to, because I do not wake up early. I'm one that will wake up 30 minutes before I need to be out of the house, no matter what I'm doing, whereas Christy and Andy were up at the crack of dawn in completely different time zones and still would have messages before I would even check my phone in the morning. So I think just being honest with yourself and listening to your heart and what you really want to do was what I got out of it. I proved to myself that I can hit over Success Club 20 and that I can be a diamond coach and I can keep moving forward. So I think that would be my biggest thing, is like trusting yourself and saying the big scary goals out loud, or writing them down, because that makes them real, and tell somebody so they can keep you accountable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. And then my wild card for the last, I'll bring it home to Christy, but there's no way Team Cup would have happened without her keeping us in it early. Like, we would have been too far behind, too far to catch up, and it like the end wouldn't have happened without the beginning. And she was, I don't know what she did to Prime, but she had that windfall, and excited to hear from her.
So I talked to Andy a little bit. I was like, what do you want me to say in this? And he's like, talk about whatever the heck you did to get those people at the start. So I will, but I am a talker, so beware. You all can cut me off at any time because I just like to talk. But I do have to let you guys know, like, yeah, I'm totally crazy. Like, I started coaching just in October, so I was super new to everything. And Andy messaged me and he was like, do you want to chat? And I was like, okay. Like, sure. And then he's talking about all this stuff, and I was like, does he know like who he's talking to? Like, I'm just like sitting there listening, like, okay, whatever. And at one point, just so you all know, my dog always goes nuts when I start talking. He was like telling me what I am, right? He's like, you're like energetic and da-da-da. And he's like, I think you're a little bit crazy. And then he like hesitated for a second, like trying to make sure I wasn't about to be really pissed off at him for calling me crazy. So I just thought that was funny, and you all should know that he called me crazy in our like first live conversation with each other. But I am a little crazy, so I just started cracking up, and he was like, whoo, I'm sure. But anyway, so yeah, so
Christy, you just muted yourself, so I don't know. There you go.
Hi. I just like to, keep things entertaining. Anyway, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I said, okay. And then like the second I got off the call with Andy, I was like, these people are going to hate me. Like, I'm going to suck. I don't know what to do. And then, we started figuring out what we wanted to do and pumping each other up and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm not going to suck. I'm not going to suck for these people. I have to do something. I don't know. So what I did to prep those first like couple weeks where I got too many points and so fast was really like, we all have those people that, every month they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it next month. Yeah, I'm going to do it next month. yay. And then it's like 7 months later, you know, and they still haven't done anything. So I went to all those people and I was like, listen, you keep putting this off. First it was Christmas money, then you were paying off Christmas money. Well, now it's going to be February. So like, don't buy something for Valentine's Day, right? This is your Valentine's Day present, you know? So I really started talking back to people that I had already formed with like quite a bit and that I knew were kind of like on the verge of wanting to do something. A lot of them I talked to in person, like I cornered them. It was pretty great. And I just threw out, and instead of going along the lines of like, hey, I've got a challenge group, you should do it because it'll help you reach your goals. I said, hey, I've got a challenge group. This is why it's different. This is why it's going to be awesome. And then I also gave like our story of what we were trying to accomplish by teaming up together. So instead of me just saying like, hey, I can help you or whatever, like I gave our why, like why are we teaming up together and stuff. And I personally think that made all the difference. And now when I talk to people, instead of just like talking about my group or, you know, I mean, I still do that and I tell them how it's going to help them, but I also tell them my why, like why I'm still doing this, why I want to help them, why I like challenge groups, what it's done for me, what it's done for my other challengers. Like I give a lot more backstory now and it seems to be making all the difference. And I think that that's what really helped me prime my month was going to these people, but instead of giving them the same old story, I had something new to tell them. And I had something that like, hey, like I'm working on this really cool thing too. And this is what we're doing. And this is why you should want to be a part of this, you know? And so now moving forward with my challenge groups, I kind of have reformulated how I talk to people and I explain more about like me, which seems weird, but it actually works. And, you know, because people want to follow your journey too. And that's what I always tell my coaches underneath me because they're like, oh, I'm not, you know, thin yet or, oh, whatever. No. Like people want to follow your journey. That's why they come to you in the first place. It doesn't matter. You can be 600 pounds and just starting your journey. You can be super fit and, you know, you can coach. It doesn't matter, you know. And it's ironic because a lot of those people that I had primed for those first 3 days, they're actually coaches under me now. So not only were they these people that were putting off signing up for stuff, but they got so encouraged and motivated through all of this that they now want to coach too. So it was a really cool turnaround for me to kind of be able to reevaluate how I approach people about challenge groups instead of just the typical. And, you know, I learned a lot about myself. I think that all of us girls cried at least a few times throughout the process. And Andy, you did have one breakdown. I do remember because I remember specifically messaging that we have your back too, and you can come to us. There was one. So he broke down a little bit too, but you know what? Like they've all said, you know, we're such a rock solid team and it was really cool. And I think that we're all taking that away and then dispersing it now into our personal downlines about how we're organizing our personally sponsored coaches a little bit differently because, you know, I really think that there's something to that team atmosphere where you're all working together instead of, hey, you're a coach under me or, you know, like I want, and this is what I tell my team, like I want us to literally work together. Like I don't even care. My downline and they're all new, you know, so they're all in their first challenge group. So I'm helping them with it. I'm like, we're going to do it together. Like, don't stress. Like I got you, you got me, you know, but I learned all that from being on this Team Cup team. And I'm not normally a team person, to be 100% honest. So it was a little interesting for me. I like to do things on my own a lot. But I definitely learned a ton through it. And yeah, so I think my takeaway is just reformulate how you talk to people and make sure that you tell them why you're doing something and you know, make your challenge group special no matter what it is. Find something special to do with it and explain why you're doing it that way, and people are going to be more interested in it.
That's so good. So good. So the biggest takeaways, y'all, is use New Wave to put yourself out there and let people know like who you are and what you provide. That's how we all found each other, is because we were active within New Wave and we were willing to share. And then you guys see like what Christine and Dawn are doing, right? They found each other because they're attracted to each other's message. You know, there's been other people too have teamed up within New Wave too. And so the way you can do that is just giving some of your best stuff, right? Like whatever you want to teach, And then if something that somebody else is teaching is resonating with you, just comment back. Oh, that's really great. That's really great. Find a success partner. And then as far as team thing, if you came here to like, hey, how can I motivate my downline to do something, is you guys need to have a mission that the group can own. So whatever you want to motivate, is it everybody hitting Success Club 5? Or what can you make to like make that like a community mission? Like, is it a big challenge group? I think that's why some teams that are going for elite really crush it, because the whole team takes up the mission of, hey, I want to help my, Star Diamond I want to be on an elite team. I want to hit Success Club so that I can earn an elite point for them. And we build there. So everybody's like emboldened by this mission, and being part of an elite team sounds awesome, right? Hey, I did something, I contributed to something. And so the 5 of us, we found each other. We wanted to win Team Cup. And then when we figured out we couldn't win, we wanted to finish top 10. And we didn't finish top 10, but what we did find out is that, we could have. I mean, we were right there, like it was within us without any secret weapon to hang with. I mean, we literally tied Amy Silverman, the number 2 coach team in the entire network. We tied her. All right. For 10th place. In January, the 5 of us were like, new coaches, Emerald coaches. We didn't think we were in Amy Silverman's league, that we could hang. We beat Melanie Mitro's team, y'all. Like, it's like, that's crazy, right? Like, and it's not about beating the top coaches, but it's like, if you wanted to do something amazing, find 4 other people, find one other person who's inspired to do something amazing with you, and you guys can all set personal records. So, yeah.
So, Beachbody sent us that cool little email at the end of the year giving us our stats for the year, how many people you've helped, how many.
Yeah.
So I ended 2015 with 72 Success Club points for the year.
Yeah.
And right now I'm at 63 for the year.
Wow.
So my whole, once you just believe that you can accomplish something, like nothing is going to get in your way from doing that. So just be so confident in yourself. You're obviously all here because you love what these programs do. You love what this company has to offer. So just roll with it.
So good. So good. So I appreciate everybody here who's actually on this call live. If you guys have any questions, we would love to help you, give you like specific tools for your business if you have any of that. So feel free to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. But so how did let's talk about 11th place, y'all, and how like kind of crushing that was, because getting to 148 points took like almost 2 months worth of everyday hard work. And as cool as 148 points is and the challenge groups are, it was just like we were the first one not mentioned on the national wake up call, and how tough what that is. And it's, I think, in a way that is somewhat, I don't know. I feel I have mixed emotions, and I've been struggling with this too. It's like, as a team leader, with our budget, if I would have found one lead off the internet, like that would have been it, And as there's so many things like that, you could second guess yourself. I'm sure everybody on the team was like, if I would have done one thing different, maybe that would have been the difference. And if we would have finished one more challenge, we would have finished 8th instead of 11th. But I think it's okay to be disappointed that you finished a little shy, but then also keep you hungry for the next time, right? There will be another Team Cup. There will be a point, and then that this will be part of your story. all of us will have this moment as part of our story going forward. And my first ever team cup, I set a big goal to hit tier 3. That was way beyond what I thought I was possible, and I did it. And then this one, I set a big goal to win the whole thing. I finished 11th, which is an amazing accomplishment. Once I believe, and all of us believe, that hey, I'm capable of something like that, that hey, we didn't finish top 10 now, but we had a shot at it, and if I tried again, if I tweaked something a little bit, I could do it again. Like, all of us will have that leadership skill to go for it. So now in our own businesses, we're not just going for Success Club 5. If we want to make a push to try to be one of the best teams in all of Beachbody for a month, all of us are capable of that, and we've proven to ourselves that we can do that. And so, February Team Cup, 2000, it's one step in our careers, but it was a cool, prove-it moment for all of us. And it's just one chapter in the book, y'all. It's one chapter, and there are going to be more chapters, and the stories that were written within this chapter, I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. Just the way that I grew as a leader. I've never my leadership skills, like, I pushed some buttons. I felt like pushed exactly the right button on the right day, and other times I think maybe I pushed a little too hard, or maybe I didn't push quite hard enough, like if I would have done some things different. But I did what I did, and I learned the lessons. But the thing is like, I took my shot at it. And if you guys are on this call, if you guys have a big dream, if you guys want to be part of the Star Diamonds, the elites, like, you don't have to wait 5 years to do it. You could, if you have a good idea and you have a good team around you, you could do amazing things. I mean, Christy was in her 4th month. Next time she's going to lead her team, because she'll be a diamond. I can't wait to see what her team does. It's like one step up there. And so if you have a big dream, if you want to take a shot, go take a shot. Drop the limiting belief that, hey, you can't run with Melanie Mitro. You can't run with Amy Silverman. That's only for the top of the top coaches. Like, you know what? If you want something, if you believe you can win, I bet you can. So if there's not any other questions, I will end this call.
Can I chime in, Andy?
Yeah, Camille, for sure.
So I was on the Success Club cruise when all of this came out, with no internet, surrounded by Beachbody coaches, but I didn't find out till Tuesday probably, when we were in Jamaica and I finally had internet where we were. But so I was bummed when I read it, first of all, even though we were having the time of our lives. But I finally got to catch up on messages, and then I was on the bus ride back with a bus full of coaches and coach families and to our boat, and I started talking to these 2 single moms, and they were just baffled that I had gotten 11th place, and I was still like processing everything and like really bummed about it, but excited at the same time. And so we started talking, and both of them, I believe, are both now in New Wave and are so excited to just be jumping in. But I also met some other coaches at the pool a couple days later, and they were like, wait, you got 11th place and you're bummed about this? Like, why? You should be over the moon. Like, coaches never get that close and never see that many points, and how the heck did you do it? And so then I explained it a little bit more, but it's just everybody, I think the big teams are so like stuck in their own teams that this is what Beachbody needed and what a lot of coaches need. Like I said, had lots and lots of training, but was missing something. And I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't find the success partner in our group that was working for me. And so, like, New Wave came into my life at the perfect time. So don't be afraid to share it with your coaches. You may be an awesome leader, but one of your coaches might need something just a little bit different that isn't in your personality or isn't in how you organize stuff. So I don't want anybody to take offense by New Wave or offense by anything that we share as a cross lines team because we still all stand by our downlines. Most of us get along really well with our upline and want no disrespect or anything along those lines, but it's just amazing what can happen when you find what you're missing to be successful.
So good. That's a perfect, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Camille. That's so great. I'm not even going to add anything to that. It's like a perfect send off. So thank you all for coming on this. Thank you guys for being a part of New Wave. For my team, thank you for February and beyond and before, like just, growing as a person, as a leader. Love that. So I guess that's all I got. So thanks for coming on this call. It will be recorded. So if you guys want to share that with your teams, it will be available shortly. So bye.